I believe that Jared is ready for us on the stage right now, Jason.
Yes, we're going to go send it over to him as he's going to introduce the teams, and then we'll come back with the picks and bans.
All right, we're ready to get into our next game. The last two games, both fantastic games. The first one between Bangkok and ITK possibly being the best game I've ever had the privilege of watching live. The entire crowd was sweating on their feet. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to keep it rolling. Hopefully this one can top that somehow. I don't know. But please give a warm welcome to the Bangkok Titans. Undefeated today, but this team is looking to change that. Again, possibly the top seed in the tournament. Incredibly skilled team. Came all the way from Poland. Meet your makers. And without further ado, we're going to see these guys clash. Back to Jason.
And Daniel and Osla. Come on, Jared. You got to give him some credit. But yeah, so we have the two teams, 1-0 currently. We actually have FC Legends. I believe they're 0-2. So pretty much they're out as far as I know. And Ikataki Mas, who is 1-1.
1-1.
So this is going to be a very crucial game. And Meet Your Makers and Bangkok Titans. I mean, Meet Your Makers had well, game number 1 we saw earlier between them and FC Legends. They kind of, it was a stomp. Early on it was close, but then it kind of turned into a stomp.
Yeah, and I just said it to you while Jared was talking on stage there. I would not be surprised if this is another stomp. Bangkok Titans did win their other game. It didn't look 100% clean though, and it didn't look like they brought a lot of nerves and coordination to the table, something that I would expect from MYM, who have had, I mean, MYM did finish second at Campus Party Berlin this year. It wasn't the greatest LAN in the year, but it was a LAN with a couple of big names. I mean, Curse was there as well, I think.
Definitely they have more experience, but we'll see, man. Every game is a different story.
Yeah.
Well, we already going into the picks and bans, and we have actually Bangkok Titans, I'm just going to call them that instead, on the blue team, and we have Meet Your Makers on the purple team, or red as you see it on your screens. And we have that Zillion ban, which we talked about a lot before we even got here today.
Xaro's Zillion is insane, and they probably hear me. BKT probably hear me.
Let's do a little bit of pronunciation training. Charu.
I would say
Xaru. No, say Charu. No?
Charu.
Ah,
if we're going to do that, we have a lot more things besides that we probably have to correct.
All right, Blitzcrank and a Sona ban. Oslo, why are they banning Sona?
Probably they want to pick Zyra.
Okay, but didn't you say that Zyra?
Actually,
Nunu.
Actually, Nunu. Nunu. Now think about it. Nunu is a pick that is so risky if the opponent can pick Sona.
Or Zyra, right? I mean, Zyra also kind of shuts down Nunu as a support.
So there's a triangle, okay?
Yeah.
The triangle, okay.
There's a triangle. There's Sona. There is, well, Blitzcrank is actually in every Blitzcrank makes a square, okay? Whatever.
Blitzcrank makes a square.
But it's Zona, Zyra, and Nunu, okay? That is one of the triangles.
Right.
And that triangle gets broken if Zona gets banned. So you actually there we go.
There we go. Beautifully done. Look at you,
Smart guy, Ocelot.
Smart
Jack
man, Ocelot.
2.0 right here.
Yep. And they can't really. What do you pick against the support Zyra?
Not Nunu.
Not Nunu.
You pick Blitzcrank, but he's banned.
So
no,
against
you
Zyra,
pick Sona. Oh wait.
Tariq is good pick. Leona is actually a really good pick.
Yeah,
that is another
really
triangle. That is another triangle.
Right.
So Leona is actually a really good pick. Something like Leona Koki counters Zyra extremely much.
Okay.
All right, well, we do have the rest of the bans in. Lux, Diana, and Yorick. You were talking about, Diana, you kind of need to play her banner because you would first pick her every opportunity you had almost.
Yeah.
But the Lux ban, that's really making me curious.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like,
sorry, but Katarina's open. We can't talk about the Lux now.
Yeah, Katarina's
Katarina.
open. Katarina is open.
Katarina.
Oh, yeah, we saw Overpow from Yellow Help. Amazing Katarina. You had like maybe 1 death in 2 games on her. Unfortunately, they did get knocked out already. So that Nunu and that Katarina being locked in, are we going to see a Kog'Maw a Vayne? Or Vayne?
I think it's not going to be Nunu jungle, even though I think it makes more sense. But I don't think it's going to be Nunu jungle. So we're going to see a bottom lane of Nunu against a Zyra support. That's going to be a really hard lane for Nunu. So maybe they are going to sacrifice some early game domination. And now I actually expect a really pure late game AD carry, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. If they pick right now Ezreal, they are killing the whole purpose of picking Nunu, knowing they're going to have a hard time dealing against Zyra.
So Kog'Maw would be a good pick?
I think Kog'Maw is way too much, but Vayne could be really, really good. Vayne could be really, really good.
Can we potentially see an APE right here?
I don't know. I didn't
No,
want
I
to
don't
talk
think
about
so.
it. They're just hovering over it right now. They haven't locked it in quite yet. That's the
Karina
Maokai.
G with the ulti. Ulti is perma mortal strike, you know, perma health reduction. And so I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezreal Zyra pretty strong.
Yep.
Well, what jungler do you think we're going to see? Oh, as I say that,
Skarner. I think
Makati
Skarner.
picking up and locking in that Skarner.
It makes a lot of sense. Actually, it's a bit early to pick Skarner. Skarner was one of those picks right now after the nerf, or after the fix, you can call it. He's not anymore first pickable.
Look at your prediction rate. Honestly, man, this is sick. All right, there's the Vayne.
I thought I predicted that.
No, he did. If you did, I chose to ignore you.
Oh, that happens way too often. But Bangkok.
Did you say anything about Vayne actually?
Yeah, I said since we have Nunu, are we gonna see Kog'Maw or Vayne?
Oh really? I didn't even know.
But he specified Vayne.
Jeez.
He did.
Anyways.
He did. Yeah, anyway, he's the pro. Let's give him a credit. All right, Twisted Fate. How do you feel about the Twisted Fate in this?
Risky at least. Risky at the very least. Because against Katarina, let's call it hard in lane.
Hard.
After level 6, if Katarina jumps in, you need to take your time to get out the yellow card. Katarina's gonna 2 seconds at least of ultimate.
Right, that's a lot of
Every time
damage.
Katarina jumps after level 6 into TF is gonna be around 45% HP.
And it's locked in?
Yeah, but what about getting to level 6? I mean, we have a Maokai jungle and a gold card from TF. That's so much CC to or it's actually Charu. Sorry,
Not liking still. Irelia is a perfect pick against this. This is the best pick they could have done because Irelia is good against Katarina and Vayne. Always, most likely. And he normally goes for GA, so Skarner shouldn't be a problem after mid game.
What is this Jax Irelia top lane gonna look like?
It's always depending on the junglers.
Okay.
It's a really even matchup. It can go either way for Jax or Irelia.
Yep, well, we do have actually Charu sitting on a teleport, so we might see Katarina with teleport.
Ooh, that would
Which
be
is
He always.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's not he. Sorry.
That was overpowered.
That was
that
overpowered,
was
yeah.
how he always plays with the TP.
Well, he's also Polish. It's the same thing, right?
But Makler actually likes playing with TP every now and then. He likes playing with TP every now and then.
Okay.
Well,
Even
he also
I've seen
keeps
that.
up with TF. If you see TF ulting somewhere, you can pop in with them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep, but that's nice. You can leave the lane with your laning partner. That's pretty good.
All right, well, back to the $1 million question.
Yep.
Bangkok Titans or Mutual Makers, Daniel?
Mutual Makers, I'm sorry. I would love to see one of the localish teams take this, but Mutual Makers has so much more experience, so better mechanically. I'd be very surprised if they don't win this game.
Talking about setup and talking about probably skill, I am for MYM right here.
Okay, well, we're going to send it back over to Joe and Demon. And why do you guys always get the good games? You guys get the amazing games as we saw last time.
But we get to comment it, man.
Well, the point is, we are the English casting duo on the English desk.
It is the English
fish and
desk.
chips are away, and we're ready to get off.
I wish I had fish and chips right now.
I
I
wouldn't actually mind fish and chips right now.
So Meteor Makers versus Bangkok Titans. Now, I'm not going to lie, I remember Meteor Makers quite well. The team they've got is the team they played a long time ago. They are very much well aware of this team, and they are very strong on this team. Jax, Vayne, Katarina, Nunu, Skarner. Oh my God, they've got all the champions they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, Libic used to live on Nunu. He was the ultimate Nunu bot. And obviously back to the day, back then, was when Blitzcrank used to get banned. And we were just like, why is Blitzcrank getting banned? This was months ago. These guys were ahead of the curve, clearly. Now this is their time to shine. But the Bangkok Titans, they have Twisted Fate again. Could they do anything with it? Worked. It didn't really get the mobility last time, and honestly, it was NDD on Cho'Gath that did a lot of the work.
Yeah,
but anyway,
certainly.
we are getting into the games, ladies and gentlemen. As the blue team, it is going to be Bangkok Titans, and the red team, Meteor Makers. We are here live at the Intel Extreme Masters in Singapore. And, well, can the Polish team dethrone the Bangkok Titans? Because they looked... Honestly, that last match they had against City Takimasu was crazy. Was crazy.
Oh, look at this. Kuban actually going to go in Counter-Strike. He's actually going to get Ezreal. This could be danger. This could be it. There's a stun card out of Twisted Fate. And, well, with that stun card, they've managed to force them somewhat back. Libic walks straight in there, throws the wall down. Actually, Irelia dashing over to him. That could have been dangerous in itself. But if you're just joining us, this is the Group B, of course, of the Intel Extreme Masters here in Singapore. And I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors for this one, of course, Intel from the Intel Extreme Masters and BenQ and Patriot. So, Demon, we didn't quite guess. We didn't guess. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Meteor Makers.
Well,
it's, to me, it's not actually a question, but I could be surprised. Oh! Oh, Makata. What on earth? Not even a reaction from Leah, though. Just sort of walked into the bush and went, oh, yes, there. I'm not going to hit you. I'm just going to just see you there. But you can still see that Vayne and Nunu are still lingering. Oh, they're on top of a ward. This could be deadly for them. This could be deadly for them. You can see the gold card's going to come out. Oh. Twisted Fate's coming around. It might be Libic that's going to get caught. There's the root, and there's the stun card. There's the exhaust. This could well be first blood, followed by a failed flash. And it's Twisted Fate that picks up the kill in that mid lane. MVM, that is just what the doctor ordered, and Libic getting caught.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant start from them. Again, the support's gone down, not the end of the world, but giving first blood over to the AP carry in middle could really come back to haunt them later on. And actually, I just need to switch the scoreboard around, which I always seem to forget. One day, I will actually do it without even thinking.
No, I always forget as well, and I can't talk when I do it either. So, is that going to be a big difference? I'm not sure. Katarina versus Twisted Fate in that mid lane is definitely one that's going to be lively and very hard to catch, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Once them kills happen, it could get aggressive. Leah being tanked out. I mean, the Aurelia versus Jax, it's what the players like to call a skill lane, I believe it is. Also, it's not really responding to me, but I'm pretty sure it's what most players like to call it, a skill lane, the Jax versus Aurelia. But it's one of those lanes that there is no real advantage to either player. It's purely down to who is the better player on the champion. It's something we also saw the Season 2 World Finals when it was Anivia versus Karthus. Very much a skill between them, and I think Toys basically out-farmed and won with either champion they switched across against Rapid Star. Rapid Star's no slouch. But here in the bottom lane as well, you know, the advantages could go back and forth. Remember, they all picked up an assist. Just that one kill, that dive in. Libic is going to get caught out. He's going to get dropped. That is 2 ice that Libic goes down, and it's Ezreal that picks up the kill as well. And that's both carries, Joe, that have picked up the kills.
He's not laughing anymore, that Nunu bot, is he? There's no more
There's no That's my favorite. One of my favorite skins.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm interested to see how Charu does. Obviously, MVM picking up that first blood, that'll really help him out in this lane against Katarina. For me, still, I think Charu, he's proven time and time again how good he is. The Polish guys in particular have proven how good they are with Katarina.
On Kat, yeah.
And actually, I saw on Twitter some guys were making a bet about how many times we will use the word Katarina in this cast. Well, I suppose it depends how well he does, that's for sure. So let's have a look at the early CS in this one. Actually, we've got Maokai coming up in towards his top lane, in towards Kuban. Obviously, he does have a flash available should he need it. There is Counter-Strike going up, and actually uses flash as well to get him right out. Not going to risk anything at this stage. Well, bottom lane's already doing a nice job of giving the kills away, or I should say Libic more than the bottom lane in particular, and they don't want that same thing to happen. You don't want to be gifting the kills over to Aurelia, who already has that assist on as well. Early CS then 13 to 18, top lane Jax in favor there, and in the middle we are seeing Skarner coming around. And just as we say that, he decides, no, Katarina too far away, and MVM in the middle of his lane, gonna portal home and spend that cash that he's got built up. Now he's up to 1,200 gold already.
Oh, hit and run, Makata. I thought he was gonna get caught out by MDD there, but he just runs in, smites it, and it's not gonna set MDD back other than the gold that he's lost out there. But as it is, the gold advantage, you can see it's 1k difference. That's those 2 kills and all the assists across the board. Zyra picking up, but they have to win out this lane. They have to win it and win it big, because Nunu Vayne lane is going to get so strong later, and it's only actually Libic that's died twice so far. So your support dying twice is not the end of the world. If it's your AD carry or your mid or anyone of like, I hate to say importance, but it would be importance, because in the early stages, if your support dies, it's not that big of a deal. It's not great, because you are feeding gold to them, and you are technically going to lose out your lane. Look at how much pressure they're getting down there. Libic's still laughing, he was, mind you.
Having fun while he goes. Not sure how much fun he'll be having if his current trend continues, though. This middle lane, I'd say Twisted Fate did go home for a bit of a shopping spree. Came back with double Doran's Ring, a ward for safety. Katarina actually going for the health crystal there. Maokai actually coming in behind, and she's so hard to lock down. I mean, they've got to land that stun onto Katarina, otherwise, well, she's got Shumpo. How do you lock her in?
Yeah, how do you lock her in? I mean, it's a very hard champion to try and gank, honestly, in that mid lane. So I think we're probably best served to see NDD on Maokai, maybe even ganking top or bottom, rather than trying to go for this mid lane, because Katarina's just so hard to pin down. You could just zip away from everything, and obviously you're going to have the help. And Makata's always within range to help out, and once he gets to 6, once he gets that impale up, it's going to be a problem. You're going to see a bit of a trade back and forth between Kuban and Leah there. They can counter-strike back and forth, get a stun, and the blow's going back and forward. Is it going to be enough? He thought about it. He's got a big creep wave. Leah's got to be careful here. Has got the ultimate. Actually, tell a lie. She just used it a moment ago, so hasn't even got the ultimate available to try and farm out this wave and get some health back. And is actually not even picking up the CS on some of those. The trades back and forth continue in his mid lane. It's going to be an explosive one, Joe. It's going to be hard to catch that fight.
Oh, are they going to dive it here? Charu actually going around the side. Let's see where he goes in the end. This is really interesting. That blue buff is actually up right now.
That's what he was expecting.
Yeah.
I think he was waiting to see whether he's going to go across and try and pick up that blue buff, but yeah, instead backed off and went, yeah. It's interesting to see when they try and set up those ganks. They didn't quite work. Red buff being picked up by Makat, and you can see actually, yeah, just getting pinged out there. They know that he's at the blue buff now, so they're expecting it. Twisted Fate will be down here. Saru's sat ready and waiting, but I think they realize it. They're like, nah, we're not going to fall for this one quite just yet. He could use his ultimate just to get full vision of him, but as soon as he keeps disappearing out that lane, they know what's happening. Back in the top lane, they're having a bit of a tit for tat, back and forth. You can see Leah is slowly but surely losing out this battle, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Once Jax hits his 6, obviously he's got the his 3rd strike, does that extra damage, and well, he can rack them up on the minions then going. But here we go, they are going to try and gank him. He dives on towards Leah, who will actually flash away. Will she die? Actually,
wow.
Katarina teleporting in there, and that was so expertly done there. That was brilliant from MYM. But is it finished? Stun card goes down. Twisted advance kill for MVM. Well, I will be happy with that one. Taking away the 1-for-1 in the end, taking out Charu. That 2nd kill going over towards Twisted Fate.
So Makat picking up the blue buff his zone. Obviously, as a Katarina, you don't really need it. It's only going to be used for the cooldown. They've got no mana, so it's actually benefiting the jungler more. Let's see whether Makat's going to try and help out and join at the moment. They're trying to push the pressure on this bottom lane. They are starting to do some damage on the turret, but that top lane, as you mentioned, Jack, 61 to 36, big CS advantage. Also in the mid lane, Katarina's got that CS advantage, but this bottom lane, Ezreal has got the advantage, but it's not big enough, because Vayne will just farm out and become a beast late game. And that is going to be so hard, especially with the Blood Ball. Expect to see, just like he did in the first game, which went straight damage rather than for the Phantom Dancer or Zeal. It won't go for the speed because of that Blood Ball. It's just going to help him out so much, and he's just farming out those last hits and slowly but surely clawing all the gold back, and the disadvantage that he had from Libic dying twice.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to impact overall. I mean, this Twisted Fate 2-for-0 currently is going home again, and there you can see how often he's having to go home. Katarina doing good damage onto him, not really losing too much of his own HP there, as we have seen an Amptome and Sorkchu's picked up. And look at this, Makler. Oh, he uses a condemn on the turret, which is one of the harder angles to pull off, to be honest, to pin someone against the turret with that condemn. But still, good try, and certainly if that would have happened, they would have gone for that kill there onto Ezreal, which, you know, everyone knows, don't let the Vayne get fed.
Yeah,
that's the aim of this game.
So it doesn't matter if you're kind of even in the lane phase, that's okay, as long as you can kind of keep up the CS, but don't give him kills, whatever you do. And I guess it's kind of the same to Katarina to that extent, because Cat can snowball so hard. As can Twisted Fate, if he starts getting in the right positions. We are seeing NDD again in this top lane, and Kuban, I think he's ready to face check that bush. I think he's ready and waiting. He's just last hitting it, but he is creeping this wave forward. Now we're going to see, he's trying to bait him. There we go. There's the leap strike used, I believe, there. They're going to get the stun down. That's a Twisted Fate coming in. He's going to try and go for the stun card. He's going to knock on the vision. And now, yeah, he's almost certainly knows he's caught. His goose is cooked. He is a dead man. And Kubon tries to leap away. Oh, is it going to be enough? Makata comes in. Can they stop him? No. Twisted advance from NDD was enough. And MVM finished him off. And Makat now may be in trouble. The stun card on the turret. And you can see the Impale coming in as well. It is not enough. And NDD takes the turret down, tanks the turret, sorry, damage, but that's a 4-0 Twisted Fate now. Could be giving up the mid turret, but honestly, 4-0 could stuff that turret down, no problem on the top lane.
Yeah,
wow.
Really bad news there for MYM, to be honest with you.
Bot
Coming
lane
in
got
for that double kill.
Did they kill the support there? They did. We missed Zerez dying on the bot lane there as well, yeah.
Okay, well, top was more exciting.
Indeed.
So we can't be in two places at once. Oh, extra ultimate coming in. That's the kind of position you're in when you've got your screen, you're low HP, and you see from the side of the screen that ultimate coming across like, no.
Nope. So there is the top turret. So turret, first blood and first turret goes to Bangkok Titans. Can they continue their pressure, Joe? That's the question on Meet Your Makers. This is a position we haven't seen them in so far in this tournament.
Yeah, Meet Your Makers, we've talked about it before that they're definitely one of the favourites coming in, if not the favourite for the entire tournament as well. I mean, they've done a great job of qualifying for events. They've already qualified for Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. The qualifiers were last week or the week before. I can't even remember anymore. Time's just all melting into one these days. So, you know, they are a massive team, to be honest. A team that not only up-and-coming, we call them up-and-comers, but look back to WCG where they finished second against some great teams there. So up-and-comers or not, they've still not had a major tournament victory. This was probably their biggest chance up until now, I'd say. But they are seeing Bangkok Titans, or they're not seeing Bangkok Titans, more to the point, taking down Dragon. I guess they had a bit of a whiff of it, as Jax is going to be taking away this top lane, and there is the most satisfying sound in League of Legends.
It's just the sound of a Jax beating down a turret, beating down anything, honestly. It does sound good. Oh, they're going to come around the backside, and well, Makata and Libic are in trouble. They've got Makat coming around with him. Makla's taken down very low. It's not going to be enough. Tries to use his ult, but tries to go stealth, but it is not. And like you say, they are all going to die. Libic is the last man standing, and it's another kill. It's a 6-0 NVM Twisted Fate. This is snowballing hard for Bangkok Titans.
This is not a snowball, this is an avalanche.
Avalanche is on.
Yeah, he's getting so fed. But in the meantime, Kubon, well, doing what you do as a top laner in that situation. You know, Dragon's gone down there diving, you can't do anything about it. You've got no teleport. You push. They get that farm while you go. And it's 107 to 50 CS in that top lane, and that is dangerous. We've seen it before in this tournament.
But how does the gold translate? Because he's got 5 assists. So, okay, so it's 600 gold difference.
600 gold, yeah.
So it's a bit of a difference. It's not a massive difference, though. It's not as big as it could be, despite the fact that he is down on that half the CS, because he will catch that up. He'll start picking it up. He'll just farm out that free lane for a while. The problem is when Jax does get involved in the fights, how much will he count? How much will it count? But look at the difference between Twisted Fate and Tristan and Katarina. It's a big difference. It's a much bigger difference. All the Ezreal ultimate zipping across. They're going to force down this turret, I think. They're going to take out this wave. They have got... Oh, Zyra's dead. It's not going to be enough, though. They're not going to be able to beat it out. Their blue buff is being transferred. Meanwhile, to Twisted Fate. And Vayne getting free farm in that bot lane again.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you don't want to happen. No free farm, no kills. You have to keep Vayne as neutralized as you possibly can, because she gets so ridiculous into that later game. Yeah, Zeal gone in there first. And will they have this turret down with that blood boil on now as well? And you know, Skills knows that he can't really stand around there. He has to wait for his support to come in there. There we go. Ping's going down. Here comes Twisted Fate again. There's the root. Stun card goes down. That is a dead Vayne. But here comes the teleport from Katarina as well. Zyra getting the full load there of the Nunu ultimate. There is Skarner. Here is Twisted Fate. They're converging on this bottom lane. Ulti down from Maokai. Root comes in onto Makata. Ulti from Zyra will knock Makata up as well. Where's the stun card, Twisted Fate? There's the stun card. There's another kill. godlike 7-0-1 Twisted Fate. That Avalanche has just rolled over another town.
The Bangkok Titans doing some work. Mid lane, though, you can see it's Aurelia versus Jax, and this should be a one-sided fight. This should be very much Jax that will come out on top, but you can see it's still pretty damn close between them because, well, he's been there, he's got his ultimate, he's doing the damage, and immediately MYM comes hunting for another kill. He is a headhunter right now. All he's actually got is a sheen. He's not really been back and forth. He must have a stack of gold on him right now. As far as I can tell, yeah, 2,500 gold. He's just saving. And they're going to pick up this mid turret. Libit can do nothing about this one. And it's going to be yet another. And he's got to be careful. He didn't get caught by that stun card. Yeah, there's the mana card coming out instead. And honestly, every time they've tried to go for something down that, even down the bottom lane, Macla's still trying to keep that farm going. He just don't have the damage right now. You saw Katarina come in, did the ultimate, but it was too early, teleported in there, and immediately everybody reacted because all of Bangkok Titans were close by.
Bangkok Titans have been so impressive for me today. I mean,
yeah,
first game was definitely a close one. This one, though, turning out to be not so much of the case, but 7-0-1 Twisted Fate. The other kills distributed with 2-0-4 on Ezreal and 1 for Zyra as well. As I just lost sound.
Just losing sound. They didn't want to listen to you anyway. No. And actually, and to correct a point that Jason made earlier on, saying that who was it just lost? Absolute Legends are out of this tournament. They're not out of the tournament just yet, but could
still be 1-2.
We could have a 1-2 situation. So it is entirely possible that there's we have a tie for 1-2. And certainly the way it's going at the moment, Meteor Makers are not looking good in this game. They're going to have to farm this one out. They are 4k down in gold. 10-2 is the kill difference, but it is even in turrets. They still have them turrets. It's not over yet, but honestly, a Lich Bane already built on Twisted Fate.
Yeah, and one thing that we've not really seen is Skarner in the lanes. Like,
well, every time he gets there, he's just too late, and he gets killed. Because look at it, 0-3-0.
Like, you need to have that Impale run. That's why you have Skarner in the jungle, like, for the power that is his ultimate. And as you said, always a little bit too late. And it also makes it harder, the fact that Twisted Fate can just portal around whenever Skarner appears in lane. It's like, okay, I need to be there as well. Gets the stun down and what have you. So Bangkok Titans currently on the bottom side of the river. Are they going to try and push this turret out with a Mind on Dragon? And it certainly looks that way. They're all sticking around right now. No one headed home. And they're just going to push this as hard as they can until that dragon comes back up and then go down and extend their gold lead. It's currently 4,300 that they have. Well, if they pick up this next dragon, obviously that's going to increase quite a lot as you see Zyra around the side. Not too much damage, but it always adds up, especially when you're trying to siege down a tower. Every little helps.
Every little does help, and they're poking slowly but surely. Those wild cards, they're going to do some damage, you know. He's got that Lich Bane on already, and if they keep poking them through, it will certainly start to hurt them. They're going to back away. Dragon Timer is on. The Meteor Makers are going to try and react to it. This could be the first 5v5 fight. They're going to head down there, and you can see immediately that Zerez is heading them off. There's the plants. They go down. Makata's trying to make his way in there. He wants to get in. He wants to get that smite down, but he's not going to go quick enough. And now we can see Bangkok Titans. They're turning it around. Twisted Fate staying clever, staying at distance, doesn't want to get too heavily involved. Here they go. The flash comes in. The ultimate comes across. Gets the full vision. Has still not caught anyone out, though. And now actually turning it around. PDD gets down. Lears gets dropped as well. And Meteor Makers are turning this one to their advantage. Yeah. The Katarina ultimate. Wow. And Jax and Bane pick up the double kill. And wow, they just shredded them apart. There's the ace. And Meteor Makers do not rule them out yet. They're going for Baron.
Look at their health.
Yeah, they were untouched.
That's not how that fight should have gone at all for Bangkok Titans. Twisted Fate popped his ultimate, then went in there behind. Maokai actually went in quite deep actually into the fight. And they were a little bit split up. The Zyra ultimate didn't really knock anyone up, and it was just a little bit messy overall. And that's going to cost them the Baron in this fight. That is going to be the gold. Almost swinging back for Meteor Makers. I mean, 30.1 to 29.4. Close stuff still between these two games. And as we've said, Demon, I don't know why there's any other guys casting League of Legends, because when we do it, it's always a good game.
Fantastic, yeah. And wise play, actually. I don't know if you noticed Charu there. The blue had spawned it, they pinged it, and he was just like, yeah, I want to get this. And it was like, didn't get greedy, didn't go for the blue, knew damn well that the Bangkok Titans were all going to be spawning and likely to be running to that exact point. Yeah. And immediately got in there. And so often you see that in a standard game, or a duo queue game, solo queue game, whatever, that people who just get caught at that one situation because they get greedy on the exit. But how does the gold translate? You can see it's still 1,000 gold difference, Twisted Fate with the advantage there. But Jax has a huge advantage now. 1,500 gold already there. The junglers are back even. So Skana getting in there. Got all 5 assists, of course, for that ace as well. Got to hit everything across the board. But more importantly, it is Vayne. Vayne has got back into this game. Managed to pull back into it. The gold level across the board now. And Vayne, when you level with Ezreal, it's not going to be good times, because he's just going to get stronger and stronger. If we just look at the items that Vayne now has, you can see Phantom Dancer complete. BF Sword is on there. Danger is a-coming.
Yeah. How much gold does she have? Okay, 370. So not too much right now, but as you say, just attacking so fast off with those silver bolts leveled up now. Doing so much damage very, very quickly with Blood Boil as well. It's pretty sick stuff. So here we go, then push coming in. Makato actually getting rooted up there by Zyra. Just trying to do that little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. We've said it before, every little helps, especially when you're trying to force a Baroned up team to back away from any kind of engagement. There you see Blood Boil on and a almost 2 attack speed. Like that's painful when you go head-to-head with Vayne.
It's not going to be good times if you go head-to-head, and I'm not too sure whether Ezreal simply can go head-to-head.
Nah, definitely
now she's got the Bloodthirst. Now he's got the Bloodthirst, sorry. He cannot stand and bang with Vayne, and Vayne is slowly but surely clawing a wave into that middle turret. We're seeing MVM here in this bottom lane, but look at it. It's like a shotgun going off constantly, along with Jax alongside him. I mean, you could Blood Boil either of them, and it's just going to be danger. There's the Twisted Fate ultimate being used. They're trying to catch them out, trying to catch Division, but nobody being able to catch it. Jax was like, come on, we can hit this turret. Now suddenly the rest of the team responds, gets around there, a couple more shots, and that's going to be the turret going down. He hasn't quite got enough of a wave this time to tank it out, but it is the next time, and like you say, Charu is just lingering off the side there, Jat. I called you Joe there. That's the one I wanted. You're not Jat.
If only. If only I was so handsome and knowledgeable.
But yeah, he's looking to go here, Joe.
Yeah, that push coming in. They've actually rooted Charu there right inside of that bush. And bit of damage put down onto that turret. Only got 386 HP remaining, so this next wave, which is actually quite far behind, should be enough to win them this inner turret in the middle lane. Obviously, they don't want to fight right now, Bangkok Titans. Baroned up team, all 5 of them got Baron on. Well, we saw how badly that last team fight went for them as well. So they really need to be focusing on how these next fights are going to come down for them. And that's a bit of a problem when you're pushing against a team like this. Ezreal ultimate, wild cards. My minions are gone, and the next ones are still in base.
Yeah, they need that siege minion to get down this road as quick as possible. They're not quite at the phase where they can think of diving on a turret just yet, although Jax is very strong. Went for the Hexdrinker actually, rather than going directly for the Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel almost certainly is going to fall in now. He's got the Ninja Tabian Triforce on there, and now we do see them. This is going to be the turret going down. Bangkok Titans are going to back away. The Impale going in. They've managed to catch onto skills. Ezreal down. Katarina gets in there, but there's a good Zyra ultimate to pop them all up on the turret. They do manage to get one return kill. It's Aurelia that picked it up on Jax. Jax turns around and gets him back straight back, and look at Vayne. NVM goes down. All damage gone. All damage. It's over for Bangkok Titans there, and the double kill again. And Vayne, once you get those hammer blows going, will just trigger through the whole team. And, you know, Makato actually survived that with the Impale at the start, and it turned out a 1 for 5.
Another amazing engagement there for Meet Your Makers, and that's the thing. Where was the focus? Where was the attention on Vayne? There was none. She was full HP until I think the last 2 guys were alive, and then they realized, oh, there's Vayne. Should probably attack her. Otherwise, could be bad news. But yeah, really amazing play there from Makler. 5-2-4 now, and probably, 2,200 gold. Katarina got 2,500 as well. not looking good for Bangkok Titans after such a promising start as well.
Yeah, they absolutely tore through them there. And there was, I mean, it was with the Baron, and then the Baron was about to wear out. So I think it was the case of, okay, we go now, we try and grab it and see how we can pull it off, or we don't go for it at all. So they just went full on, balls to the wall, straight in there, got the move, and made it stick. Bangkok Titans, though, have the timer on this Dragon. They're going to pick it up before the Meteor Makers can respond, which is going to pull the gold back to a 2,000 gold difference. So not over yet, but honestly, every team fight we've seen so far has gone heavily in favor of Meteor Makers.
And I said it before when Twisted Fate was 5-0, maybe even he was 7-0, so at that point that if he dies, where's the rest going to come from? Because Irelia was so far behind. Okay, it's a little bit different now that Trinity Force is finished. But look at the CS there. It's
still
that
a long way
far
behind
away
in
from
builds.
100 CS. Yeah, there's a Hexstringer in there, a Warden's Mail. Just a long way behind. Zyra obviously 4-1-7 now. Got a good chunk of CS more than Twisted Fate. In fact, I just want to look at the goal between them. Yeah, finally Zyra has taken over. Haunting Guys, Blasting One, Rabadon's is done. There's an Amp Tome in there as well. And they're going to be looking to take down this open inhibitor. And the way that those last two fights have gone, an ace without losing hardly any health, plus a 4-for-1 trade with Skarner surviving after he'd flashed in there to pick up the Impale. Bangkok Titans just look like they've fallen too far behind despite that advantage that they had early on because it was all on one man.
And as small as the advantage is, it's interesting to see Meteor Makers back out. As soon as their minion wave went down, they backed away from the inhibitor. It's like, well, you don't really need the minions there right now, honestly, but they're still going to back out. They don't want to get taunted into a fight down in towards the Nexus turrets. There's a huge stack going down the bottom, so they're going to rotate round, pick that up. There's not a great deal of Bangkok Titans. I don't think they want to try and defend this one. It wouldn't be a wise decision. We are seeing Zyra moving towards it. There's the True Shot Barrage going across, but it's not going to be enough. They've got to be careful they don't get pincered. Charu could easily sneak around the back there, and you can see he's just edging around. No, because the Baron spawned, and they're heading straight for it.
It would be great to see MYM set up a trap here somewhere. They've got a ward on it, so they know that they're not going to be a Baron. Didn't spot that one quite there under the icon. We see Libic just putting a couple of wards down. There's one from Makata as well, just to give them vision in case they decide to come back. And this is an interesting choice to go home. I mean, with that ward on Baron, obviously, we know Bangkok Titans know that they're not doing Baron, so they might not just push straight in there anyway to have a look. And that will give them a chance to get back in towards everything that's going on. So let's have a look at the cash. They've all just spent up. Zyra just picking up the Negatron Cloak there. Sorry, Katarina picking up the Negatron Cloak. And MYM back off towards Baron. Bit of a tense time. I mean, like you said, as much as MYM have had this advantage in the team fights, the gold is still not huge, and they know that. They are playing this one very cautiously. They don't want to be throwing it away. They know if they go 1-1 in the group that, well, there's a chance of an ELO hell happening to them.
There is a chance that they could get indeed a tie. They stood on top of Ward there, not being so sneaky. They still might have the speed. As Zerez roots him straight down there. Was not getting caught out. Jaximus currently, though, is the leading charger. He's the man.
That's the one.
It is Jaximus, yeah. He's the man that's been doing the damage, causing the trouble, and then it's just getting followed up and giving really Charu and Vayne the free reign because he jumps in. They focus on him so heavily. And that's the reason why they just can't win the team fights at the moment because Twisted Fate is so poke happy. Here they go, they realize it, they've walked straight in, and then Jax has jumped straight on him, gets the counter-strike down, did manage to land the stun, the Impale goes down. It's going to be Leah that gets dropped on Aurelia to start with. Charu is dropped as well. They do manage to go down, so they got one kill, but it's not going to be enough. The passive coming out, that is going to get a snipe, actually. The passive took down Libic there. Good exchange, but you can see that Jax is just tearing through the field there, along with Makler, and Makler with Makata. That could be enough to just go straight through into the Nexus.
I'd say so. I mean, what can Maokai really do to stop this?
Not a great deal, honestly. I mean, Makler hasn't got Blood Boil, but because he's got that Phantom Dancer and the Infinity Edge, you can see the turret is going down. And there, with the satisfying beat of the sound of Jaximus taking down the Nexus turrets, Meteor Makers continue to live up to their favorite status, I think it's fair to say. And they are almost certainly going to back away here. They can't quite take the Nexus down because the rest of the team are starting to spawn. And honestly, I wouldn't follow this one, Leah. You are in trouble there. Do not follow. You will get bitten.
Oh,
Twisted Fate's going to come in. Is he going to get the stun card off? He can't quite get close enough. The run for coming out. He hasn't got the speed because the Phantom Dancer's helping him out, and he's just got the speed of boosted. He couldn't get away. The rest of the team are there, so they had to back away. It's not quite over yet, Joe, but honestly, without any of those Nexus turrets, it's going to be very, very hard for Bangkok Titans to get back into this.
Yeah, I mean, right the way down. What do you do? I mean, you can't really push out your base because those lanes are going to get pushed.
Through, yeah.
And that has, yeah, thank you very much. I don't want directed camera. Keep switching me over. But yeah, Meet Your Makers now, they've got so many wards in, and this is something that we always praise them about as well in EU Nordic East. Like, they'd cover the map in wards. Half of them were pink as well. Yeah. You know, they've always had great vision. Elo Hell actually had the same thing yesterday, obviously taking a leaf out of MYM's book, and they are going to start off Baron. But guess what? They're going to walk straight into a bit of a trap now. Oh, Bangkok Titans, it's Twisted Fate here at the back. Look at Jax hammering away on him. Easy kill. Nunu going to be putting a full charge of his ulti out. There is a death for Leah.
Some work.
Yeah, I mean, he's so far ahead with Jax that you can't really do much against him. I mean, he's got Randuin's own, he's got Hex Drinker, that Trinity Force. Here comes Makler just to try and finish off. That one just traveling the length, and there we go. It's a quadra to finish off the Vayne. 12-2-4, and this time, Demon, we can safely say that Meet Your Makers gonna take down Bangkok Titans and go 2-0 in Group B here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Singapore.
So they are looking like they're going to top the group, Meet Your Makers. The question is, who will get second place? So it's a 1-1 now for Bangkok Titans. It's a 1-1 also for Itsutekimasu. Itsutekimasu got to face Meet Your Makers yet. That's going to be a tough, tough match for them. Can they match it though? Because Bangkok Titans were in that for a while. They were 10-2 up. You know, Twisted Fate was 7-0-1. They had the damage. They had a great lane phase, but their team composition just didn't suit the team fights when they happened because Meet Your Makers were so drilled, so prepared. They knew that team comp. They were so ready for the fights. And as soon as Vayne just kept up with Ezreal, it was game over.
And it's really hard to say who you focus in there as well. I mean, you've got Katarina, who's going to jump in, ultimate, be jumping around, getting the resets, doing it over and over and over and again. I think that was really their target in that one fight where Vayne was just stood at the back and
just hammered away.
Hammering away until it was like 2 guys left. Then they finally did turn onto her again. The other thing, Irelia so far behind Jax. You just can't keep up with the Jax like that.
And you got to wonder whether that was a case of where they should have give Irelia some of the kills instead of just feeding. Because it's a problem. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, to stack up one champion.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous when it's a Twisted Fate that can get taken out of the game so quickly, especially when there's an Impale or something like that that can just take him out of the game straight away.
Well, that's enough for us. We're going to pass it over to the analysis desk, and they're going to break down all the action from that game.
Thank you, Joe and Demon, over at the analysis desk. As we're talking about it, like, stop analyzing things. That's our job.
We were analyzing the analysis. Is basically what we were doing.
Yeah, Katarina, what could you say? I mean, Meet Your Makers, they were behind in the beginning of the game, as Joe was mentioning, I believe that was. Even in Game 1 with Absolute Legends versus Meet Your Makers, they were behind, but they pulled off in the end.
You know what annoyed me most about this game?
Is that we can't play League of Legends right now?
Yes. The second most annoying thing is that Ocelot just can't stop being right. It is it's not a good character trait, really, man. It's just like everybody was like, "Oh my God, Bangkok Titans are taking MYM apart." Like, no, I'm 78.5% sure that winning this game, and then there's basically this happens, which we're gonna go to in a moment. And he literally said that when it was 10-2. And I'm looking at the score right now because we're going to jump to this in just a second. Bangkok Titans were also like something like
Drake,
5k gold ahead. They just did Drake. And everything was like, yeah, Twisted Fate is 7-0-1. This is not going to end well. And he was like, no, don't worry. MYM have this. 78.5%.
Gosh. Yeah, but I mean, Meet Your Makers had such a strong combo. Jax, Katarina, Vayne.
Yeah. It's almost a combo that
words for that.
It's almost a combo that says we know that the enemy is not going to have enough coordination to take these super carries out, and we know that as long as we do well enough in team fights, come on.
Okay, so we can't do analysis now.
Well, try to go back into the game maybe. try to see if we, our spectator client is being very unhappy with us. I guess Chi is going to have some work after hours after all today. We're going to get getting a lot of black box splats when we pause and jump around a lot, unfortunately. We wanted to show you the turnaround fight. Let's see if we can still jump back into this game. But
yeah, at the end is just at the end, even if we cannot get into the game, at the end is what we talk about. Like they were far ahead, but the team fight composition wasn't the best one. When it came down to FAM, they weren't ahead. When it came down to levels, they weren't ahead. The kills were distributed wrong.
Yeah, and
it's just the whole game approach was good. Just the things didn't happen like they wanted to.
And it looks like the game is actually closed. Ah, that's very, very unfortunate. That's my unfortunate of the day there, out of the way. Yeah, but what we're going to show you was the team fight in middle after Bangkok Titans just took Dragon. I'm just going to paint you a picture with words here. They move into mid lane through the brush. They put a lot of stuff onto Katarina, who has to flash out into their own destroyed tower. But while all of this is happening in the upper left part of the fight, Vayne just stands there, pulls out the big guns and goes pew, 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 pew. No one does anything about Vayne. And how does that end, Ocelot?
It ends in 2-0 for MYM.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but the thing is, you go for Vayne, but then you leave Katarina and Jax free. You go for Katarina, you have Vayne and Jax free. Like, who do you focus? You can't.
Yeah, it's a really good late game approach. Like, Katarina's late game is ridiculous. Jax and Vayne late game, just speak less, you know? Once you get the late game from these tiny mistakes of like fighting whenever you didn't need to, or actually everything comes into that mid fight after break. Everything comes into that. If that fight didn't happen, it was a 4-4-0. Vayne got a double kill, Jax got a double kill. That was the key.
Yep. And the other question that I have for you also is, at 10-2, what else could Bangkok Titans have done to actually bring this game home?
Well, they didn't have the perfect team fight comp, so I would have, after Drake, I would have just went base. I would have bought because TF had a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
And on the pocket. I would have tried to go as 4 and try to split push a little bit with TF, being careful of not getting caught. It's always a hard thing, you know, but I mean, you have to be so far ahead with that setup to actually win games against the other setup.
Yeah, and you were talking about kill distribution. Joe and I were casting yesterday talking about how you can't have all the kills on one person. It was Katarina at the time.
Katarina.
If Katarina has all the kills, it's fine. If TF has all the kills, then we got a problem.
Yeah, as he was 7-0 at some point.
It was 7-0-1.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, yeah, but Meachmaker's going to go 2-0 now in the group stage. Bangkok Titans are going to be 1-1.
They are through already.
They are through, yes. MYM are through.
We have Ikitaki Mas, that's 1-1 as well. So we have two teams that have to... We're not going to play each other here.
Could still go 2-1, right? Is that still a possibility?
If Ikitaki Mas wins, there will be 2-1. But the thing is...
Oh, no, you can only go 1-2, I guess. You can't go 2-1.
No, you can go 2-1 if there's a 0-3.
Well, the thing is, we're going to have...
Mathematically, man.
I don't know, math is hard.
Calculations, man.
Math is hard, man.
We're going to have Meteor Makers versus Ikitaki Mas, and then we're going to have Bangkok Titans versus Absolute Legends. Absolute Legends is 0-2 at the moment, so they're completely out of it.
Yes,
But it depends on who wins and who loses.
Yeah, but we can only have 2-1s, so that's a fine, yeah.
And if they both win, we're going to have to go back to the time and how long it took, like we did yesterday. Hopefully not taking as long to find out the results, but that's what's going to have to happen.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think there's any chance for a tie. It's not possible anymore at this point. I don't think you can have three teams that are 2-1.
If Ikitaki Mas wins against Meteor Makers and Bangkok Titan wins against Absolute Legends, we'll have two teams that are 2-1.
Two teams, that's fine. Two teams 2-1, they both go on.
No, but then we have Meteor Makers that's 2-1. Oh, so okay, yeah, three-way tie.
Sorry.
It's been a long week.
That's why I'm the expert, apparently.
And I'm just the host.
I don't know why I'm an expert. It doesn't make much sense, but it's fine. I'm happy. This is the expert right there.
Yeah.
We are basically what we're doing all weekend long.
Basking in his glory.
Yes, we're just stealing everything. Everything this man says during the game, I'm like, I'm tweeting that. I'm gonna sound smart. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man.
Actually, it's a team thing.
You told him anything. Look at him.
We came up with a new nickname for him. Instead of Ocelot, it's Muscelot.
It's a Muscelot, yes.
Somebody take this guy out.
But we actually haven't gotten too many questions from hashtag IEM on Twitter, but you make sure to send that. We're going to be answering questions as much as possible. Daniel, Ocelot, myself. We also have Joe Miller, who's standing over there with a full head of hair, and I am disappointed, people. 20,000 followers.
He's too hairy.
Yeah,
What's going on?
He's too hairy. Joe, you're too hairy.
He is too heavy.
He's like, what?
Yep. I'm gonna see where his followers are at the moment. I'm gonna give you a Joe Miller hair shave update.
You have to come, man.
It shouldn't be much
Show
more.
that.
from the
Too
side.
much hair in the hair.
Yeah,
It's too much hair.
20,000 followers. We actually have someone. Oh, hello.
Oh,
Someone
hello
from
there.
someone from L'Oreal actually is going to be cutting his hair, if I'm not mistaken. It's 'cause he's working.
Maybe. 19,814.
200 followers.
Come on. It's yes,
Yo,
especially for you,
Loma
Demon.
Mila.
It's like, wow, this is a really nice, clean smelling hair.
Yeah.
So what's with you two? You always get the good games, like the amazing games.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
Don't be jelly.
we are jelly. We are totally
Little bit.
jelly.
A little bit.
Although we get all the predictions. This man has gotten every single pick prediction right so far. It's stupid.
Well, playing good games though.
Lucky.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
MYM to Takemasu next.
Ah,
Oh,
very
so
good.
that's what
Very
we're
good.
doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. What?
20 minutes time, so good filling.
20
I
minutes
think
time.
we get a break,
might go to
maybe.
break then. I think.
Use the bathroom.
Yes, very good. Okay, so if you want to take us into a break.
I kind of don't. I kind of
You
want to
don't?
talk
You
a
wanna
little
talk
more
more?
before we go on a break.
Let's
I mean,
talk about my hair some
meet
more.
your make. Oh, really? He's gonna kneel down, his hands and knees and back out.
He just dived away. That's good. That's good.
But meet your makers. I mean, I don't think we touched on it too much early game. They have
Right.
They seem to lose early game, but then they come back late game with their compositions, with their teamwork.
With their experience, Jason.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's usually the other way around. We see teams that come out of nowhere. They win the early game, but they don't know how to take
Yeah.
it later. They don't know how to win the late game.
Yep.
And I know. Also, like, easily has some words to talk about with that.
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with you. To executing is not an easy thing, you know. Executing is probably the hardest thing of this game, especially if you fight against teams that know they play together for so long and they know how to defend it. So it's always hard to execute. We saw how MYM executed perfectly, even though they weren't able to push. But everything came down to those melees that were actually pretty tanky with some ammo and stuff. They were able to tank some tower hits, so the teammates just go in and kill the tower. That's how it works. But most of the new teams, most of newcomers don't even know they can do that. Don't even think about the possibility of doing that. They're like, okay, I might get caught, I might whatever. So they never take advantage of the advantage they got. That's it.
Yep. Well, wise words from the prediction master himself, Asla.
I have a question on
Oh,
Twitter.
we have
Will
a
there be VODs? And yes, there will be VODs. Is there somewhere we can send these fine people for VODs? There must be a website.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure you can go to esl.tv and there'll be lots of VODs.
I didn't say it. I made you do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure when they will be up, but obviously as soon as possible. Do you have any actually more questions, or are we actually going to head to break?
Let me have a quick look at the hashtag IEM hashtag.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Let's see if there are any interesting questions there for us. And of course, we need to switch all.
The first thing you see.
Yeah.
Retweeted 20 times.
How much cooldown reduction do you get from that scarf? That's a good question. I think it's 41% because it breaks the meta.
88.50. No, 78.
78.5.
78.50.
78.5.
I was about to say it gives you like +5 stats to attracting women.
Ramel Brown asks, what team do you think had high expectations but failed? Let's say it together.
ELO.
Very
Okay,
good.
yeah,
Man.
okay.
Very good. This man has my back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And that is, I think, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like we're going to go a little bit of a break. We'll be back with Meet Your Makers versus Iketakimasu. And that just makes me hungry every time I say it. But we'll be back with Joe Miller and Demon
Really
Casta.
hungry, just said.
What?
It's like massive.
Itadakimasu.
I'm starving too, man. Just go eat
Clearly,
something right away.
something's going on in this little desk.
Grubby now has a pillow. I just see Grubby
Grubby
in front of
has
me
a
with
pillow?
a
Is it
pillow.
just on
He must
Dyrus?
have taken lessons from Dyrus, clearly.
What the-
Yes.
But yeah, we're gonna take a little break. We'll have Joe and Demon Cast in the next match, and you'll have Ocelot, you'll have Daniel Klein and myself here to analyze the game. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly with hopefully another exciting game.